Join me as you and I and you take a journey to become better writers together and geek out.
I'm not sure how that looked like over there, but over here, that looked like kind of funny. So I'm hoping that's not the beginning of what's going to happen during this show. Hi, folks. It's Written Writ talking to you straight from Written Writ, being Written Writ. And, of course, you have Lou, Nat, and Tony.
Hey.
What's cracking, guys?
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
Hey, Shem.
And from across the pond.
From Paris.
Yes, our lovely Shen is in Europe right now, France at the moment.
Oh, bonjour.
Buongiorno.
Bon oui. Oh, wait, no. It's 6 hours.
Omelette du fromage.
Oui, oui, monsieur.
Mon ami.
Croissant baguette.
Madame.
Gabby from X-Ray. Mon ami. I don't know.
Ah, mon ami.
Attends.
You better not be doing a certain skunk impersonation, okay? We're trying.
Oh no, he's
cleaning up our.
He's
image,
canceled.
Oh yeah, they'll cancel me right away if I'm doing that.
He's canceled.
Like secretly.
No.
All right, let's see what we got here. Dude, of course, our pal Phil has just launched the Dynamics today. He's probably still live right now. I was watching his show right before I got here. Shen says it's 4:33 a.m. here right now.
Wow.
Oh man. Yep, so the Dynamics has launched. Let's see, do I have it over here? So go over there and support this great 80s style superhero comic book. And it's pretty decent. I got a chance to see it ahead of time.
Oh, cool. You got the sneak peek.
Yeah. And of course, you know, our pal Phil is a great writer and he does a good job of putting this together. If you like The Incredibles and stuff like that, you're gonna love this book. You know, and if you love superhero action from the 80s, this book is just like right up your alley.
And if you love supporting local indie writers, and all
Exactly, we like supporting the local indie market. And you know, Phil is up and coming. He's really putting things together. I think this is the second title that he's putting together. You know, to have run concurrently with Tragedy.
This is a different universe, all right? It's not the.
Oh, I don't know. I
don't know yet.
He says something about maybe a crossovering some point or another. But I think right now it's a different universe.
We got multiverses now. Things don't have to happen on the same planet Earth. It could be a different Earth. It's fine. We got multiverses.
Have they copyrighted that yet?
What, the
Filmo universe?
Yeah, multiverse. I don't know.
No, they can't.
Multiverse is a word. You can't copyright.
Yeah.
I don't know what you can and can't copyright anymore.
Because, dude, let me see. DC had a multiverse.
Did you say the?
Let's see. DC had a multiverse first.
$1 million.
And then Marvel had a multiverse. Because Marvel came in second with the multiverse.
Yeah, it's a word though. I don't think you can copyright a multiverse. Everybody uses it
during science shows.
Yeah,
they use it during science shows. They're like, hey, it's the multiverse.
Yeah, it was a science fiction thing before comics touched it. Like, you know, it's new realities, not anything new.
All right, let's see if this plays. I don't think so, but let's see.
Fair point.
course, it looks lovely. As I said, it looks like a nice little 80s comic book, that superhero team comic book from the 80s. And, do yourself a favor, go support Phil and Rob Powers, because this is the art of Rob Powers, and we all love Rob Powers here. He does amazing work.
It's already got some funding.
Yep. Let me see if I can bring that up again. We are at, come on, 432. They're going for 1,500. They got 13 backers and 29 days to go. So come on, people, let's support this. If you want, you can also probably pick up Tragedy here, because they probably have a Tragedy. Yeah, they do. They got a Tragedy bundle.
I like that hippo guy.
Oh, dude, the hippo Hulk, or whatever they call it. His daughter created that, actually.
Yeah. You remember when they had that little girl in front of the bull statue in New York? That's what that reminds me.
That's what it reminds me of, right? Look.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, the boy.
There goes our pal Rob.
Hey, Rob. Wow,
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, the book looks fantastic. Rob did an amazing part on the art inside. This looks like so much fun. Yeah, I was just over there on their feed while they were doing their live show, and I think Rob and him were still there. They're probably still there now. As usual, Phil goes all out. You got your variant covers.
Did he get to the XYZ covers this one?
Oh no, he stays with I think 5 covers.
Okay, that one's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
And he has the stretch goals. Yeah, he and of course you can get any of the other stuff from the legendary artists. They got the art books, and you got the Tragedy stuff. Yeah, so he really gives you a chance to pick up anything from what they've done, or like makes things special. Like, look, you can have a nice little foil cover. And of course, this is a Steph Wilson cover, if you can believe that. The Steph is usually a little more sexy. And of course, you got the rest of the artists in the legendary illustrations. I really like this piece here from Ricardo Silva. The old-fashioned D&D guys from the TV show.
Oh, hey, yeah. Took me a while to get it. Oh, hey, I see the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, he does a great job with this.
Oh, look at Uni. Oh, hated Uni. You need to die, but that's a good Uni.
Well, there you have it, folks. These guys are live now. Go support them. Support the indies and make Marvel and DC work for their money. Make them do good stuff again. Because we need better stuff out there. And of course, today we're going to be talking to the guys from Horizon's End and their beautiful RPG video game. And of course, I'll bring in Matt and Brian so they can actually talk about it.
How's it going?
Hey, guys.
What is up,
Hey.
So, Matt, Brian, who wants to take the lead and explain to everybody what this video game is? Of course, we've had you on the show before, so some people out there are going, "Hey, I remember." But give them the spiel.
Well, so the last time we were on, we were showcasing the Great Gaius, which was based off of the Dungeons and Dragons campaign that we run back when we were young bucks. The game that we've been developing over the past 4 years basically takes place about 2 years after the events of our first title. It's a standalone. You don't have to necessarily play the first one, but you basically I guess what we've really created here was something that we've always kind of been interested in, and it's the fusion between the D20 rule set and traditional RPG. So what we basically, in our minds, think we've created is kind of this blend between the Western style open world concepts with the style and storytelling of the East. We've wrapped this up with a D20 rule set that we've rebuilt with the RPG Maker engine that essentially, if you'd ever played a game like Baldur's Gate, that was kind of like the first deal that you could see that was like real D&D and held out. So we took a battle log system based off of that with all the madness of an RNG D20 system, wrapped it up into an RPG turn-based battle system that can essentially operates with a Final Fantasy Tactics class system in which you associate your job points. You can basically craft everything from the ground up, and this game is completely sandbox with a very, very in-depth economy. And you play as basically a nobody put into a world of great turmoil following the events of the last title, a leaderless country in which you are a captive of, and you can play through 4 different starting locations. It's completely choice and consequence. I've seen people play already in the early access for hours just playing with these old school systems that we liked in these old games, and everybody I think is having a lot of fun. And as you play through these 4 stories, they'll coalesce together kind of Game of Thrones style, and we hope that it's received well. It's new, and we're calling it a Western Fusion RPG.
Oh, I think you're muted.
I think you're muted
Ralph,
there.
you can't hear you. Can't hear you.
I'm not sure what happened there.
You're in
Okay.
the chat.
Yeah. So when we were back there in the green room, we were talking about the fact that you did a mixture of games here to make this thing now, and you got me excited because these games are some of those games that I love to play. You know, you threw some tactics in there, you threw some bunch of stuff. Can you tell me a little bit about what you were saying?
Yeah, sure. I don't know if you can hand the screen off to maybe Brian to present a little something, but we'd love to show you.
Oh, sure. Just send me whatever you want to present, and I'll put it over here, and then you guys will be in charge of the screen.
Yeah, Brian, let him know if you're ready to go. I don't know if maybe you can pull up Character Creator.
If you can share my screen.
I think you click present at the bottom.
Yeah,
present. Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
It's right over. Nope, it's right over here.
Share screen.
As soon as it pops up over here, I'll share it.
So what we're going to show you is our first character creation screen, which essentially is borrowed from the D20 rule set. And when you have pre-made characters here, at this point we only have a few races, just Osirian and human, but we'll show you what a custom character can do. So at this point here, obviously a human gains they can learn a lot faster than most classes, so they have double job point growth. And if you start as an Osirian, which is essentially our Minotaur from our world, which is called Tenemir, you can have racial bonuses. So just go ahead. You can choose your gender and a couple of pre-made classes. Now, what's interesting about this, and I'll never do it again in a pixel game, is that when you change the armor of your character, you actually see it change inside the game. And it's all these little tiny details that come apart, whether you're wearing plate mail or leather or robes, clothes, or naked. It's pretty interesting. So you start off here, and I think I was discussing this a little bit earlier about the way that we were going to kind of bring the D20 system. You start off with these 3 job pool classes, which is very, very reminiscent of an AD&D age where you can only pick 3 or 4 different classes. So let's say that we pick some. Go ahead, Brian, make a character. And basically from this screen here, you're able to learn skills from, in that kind of tactic style. And as you are these classes and gain more job points, you will unlock the tiers. So if you want a fighter style, you'll go into a knight or a monk. If you go the rogue, you'll be a scout or a thief. You go the scout route, you can start to tame any creature, any cohort, any person that you meet in the game potentially could be your party members. So you can go into town and convince people to come fight with you. From here, we have the attribute system, which will be reminiscent of the point-buy system of Baldur's Gate, Pathfinder type games. This is going to associate with all the different skills that you're able to do in the game. And each one of these, we make it so that you can do them manually, or you can do mini games. Like we have lock picking games, but some people, it gets bored. I know that playing Oblivion and things like that, it got a little tiresome to keep having to pick locks. So you can actually just roll like you're rolling 10, break lock picks.
Nice.
So it has a feature like that. These are our techniques. So basically, you can get a weapon focus or something. Go back there for a sec, Bri. Like leadership, for instance, is the way that a charisma-based character that has a heightened charisma can start to bring people into their party. You have 3 party members. There's a mercenary, which basically all of them have, I think there's 7 of them. They have all their own storylines that you can pass through. If you do one thing or the other, another guy might hate you. It's all choice and consequence. So every time you play through the game, which we're assuming is going to be 4 times, it'll be different. Here you'll have the biography. So this is basically your background. So if you were to choose being a loner, you might have 2 attributes plus 2 while you're not in the party. If you're a miner or mountaineer, you might have more attributes that face towards mining or woodcutting or being a roguelike character. So after we choose the character, the way that we're throwing the game, so we have an update of our graphics now. I know that a lot of people, because we're an indie developer, our last title took 7 years and like 6 different artists. So you'll see a lot of the consistency in this game, very beautifully done. This is basically your character sheet, and that's the way that you start your game. There's a karma and reputation system. So if you can steal from anybody in haggle, you can beg, you can convince people to bribe guards to let you go. You can go fishing. You can go
I'm
to
going to
jail.
jump ahead a little bit into the game more so you can see more stuff.
Yeah.
The tutorial area.
So we just wanted to showcase a little bit of that. But once you're here, why don't you show how you can steal from people?
Oh, well, let me go to an easier area to do that.
Yeah. So here's our recall system. So we have fast travel.
I feel like this is the cheat that people want.
Yeah. So, for instance, there's also a day and night cycle. So the game, each NPC that you encounter will have kind of a schedule. Like they have a job, they have a home, they might have lovers, they might have weird love interests that you can look around and go, oh, let's see something's going on over there. If you look to the left, he's actually rolling dice in that thing, and if you're trying to charm, you can grovel and receive money. See if you can steal something. So your karma will go down if you get caught stealing or things like that, and that will essentially make the people in town, because the more famous you become, the more people know what you did. So the prices of towns will change. They'll be like, well, I know that you robbed Mrs. Johnson's pie the other day.
Wow.
So now I'm gonna have to charge you like 10% more on the cost of potions.
You can see in the bottom right here, we have that's the reputation system for each town. And the number.
So you
Plus
can
your karma and fame.
Yeah, and as your karma, if you're doing good, they
always
also
love that.
reward you. Hey.
I think that's one of the things that I love so much about Fable was that whole concept of your actions have consequences.
So if you look here, the top right is actually the initiative system that's rolling every round, a D20 based off of their dexterity or whatnot. Right. And this is we figured out that if you make it so people miss, especially in the beginning of the game, you do no damage, so you might be fighting a while. So we allow, if you miss, it's called a graze, and you'll do 1 damage instead of your heart. But each one of those is rolling particular fortitude saving throws, Constitution. They're re-rolling for damages if you're getting there. We also have a focus strike system, so in case that it gets too difficult to hit a certain thing, you can actually do an AP dump, so all of your adrenaline points as you build up. So by doing things kind of like a Xenogears style, where you can build up new skills. We use it in the Great Gaius as well. Now you can use a focus strike, so you'll get bonus to your attack roll to kind of get a hit that's better. So you'll get job points and things like that. Go into the class system again. I just want to show us kind of a scope. So this is just a normal class that has, went the thief and scout route. But once you become a scout, you can start to tame creatures in the wild. Show the outside abilities. So remember we were talking about how we wanted to make it so that you can pick and choose the way you are in a D20 type system. So
Right.
here, if you went on a more of a magic route, you'd have abilities like Mage Armor and Cure and Heal that you can use while you're in any of these classes, not necessarily in battle.
Right.
And now go to the equip. And here's 16 pieces of gear. They change their names based off of what you put in them. So you have like a materia-based system. All of the gems could be sock-mended, augmented. So if you put a ruby into the bone short sword, if it had a slot, it would be the fiery bone short sword, so it'll add fire damage. So it becomes super customizable with the augments. Most equipment pieces get 3 to 4 slots by the end. But yeah, we built a pretty good system in which you can build an economy, you can craft things for extra money. We have an entire bestiary, quest journal systems, lore for all the biographies and factions of the characters that you come to meet. We do love story. We have general information. There's books that you can find here and read. There's a language that you can learn. This basically is an information log that shows you all of the systems as how they apply to Gjallarhorn. Even if you're familiar with the D20 system, we
Right.
figured that it was good for you to be able to have that. We were also into tutorials that didn't not like disembark you from the trail that you're going in story mode. So a lot of the tutorials every dialogue is skippable. You can just grind it out if you want. It's always a choice. You can get more of the meat and potatoes if you want.
I have to admit that's pretty good to add to the system. I know some of the games don't want you to do that, but I always felt like it should be up to the person on what they want to do.
Exactly. And that's the beauty about also a choice and consequence system, because you can, based off right off the gate, we give you an alignment test in the beginning because you're actually captivity and being sold. And
Right.
you're answering the questions for the people that are essentially going to own you. And based off of those answers, like you could be like, yeah, well, I'm kind of really a garbage person. And you'll be thrown into a spot that will fit your alignment. And those 4 stories are basically putting you from lawful good to chaotic, neutral, and lawful good to neutral, true neutral. So
I gotta admit, I like the fact that you have multiple stories going on.
Yeah.
As you pick whatever you pick, it leads you into a couple of different paths.
Yeah, there's quite a few different paths, and there's a lot of stuff that'll surprise you if you go certain routes that'll actually affect the endings of the games. It's a lot more in depth, and if you do one thing for one part of the characters, you might lose out on this playthrough of doing a thing that kind of is an adverse effect. So if you play through 2 or 3 of these main stories, you actually go to certain scenes where things are happening. You'll be like, oh, I know that guy, and then you'll see that part of the story when you're playing on that part. So it works together so you can get the whole piece George R. R. Martin style. So you're reading 4 people's chapters, and it makes this one overarching story that we think is pretty cool.
Dude, I also like the fact that, like you were saying in the green room, where you can just be messing around with the game for hours and hours without even getting through the story.
Yeah, I mean, like Brian's trying to fish, he needs a maple fishing rod. You can go and get those types of wood and all these things. Going into town, there's arena battles. There's illegal gambling rings. I mean, this is like there's a lot of interesting things that we've come up with here. There's treasure maps. If you fish enough, you'll start to find messages in the bottles, and then you can go if you have a shovel, you can go and see the map and be able to do that. And we have a pretty immersive story that it makes everything seem very subjective. And there's a lot of choices here. There's no clear good or evil. I mean, there's some certain things that you might feel like, well, that's not really the best, but it gives you a wide option of replayability, which we like. Like even playing the same story twice can go completely different way.
Well, that was always the fun, and one of the things I loved about the last game was that feel that you had with a 90s RPG. And
Yeah.
This is exactly what you're feeling here, is that whole 2,000 hours you spent playing that 90s RPG, and you didn't even get to the end of the story.
Yeah, I will admit that the first week of access, nobody even mentioned the story because they were so in depth with what you could do really with this game. You know, we took a lot of the things that I like. I love the Final Fantasy Tactics system. We had we have a fishing game in here that's like similar to Stardew Valley, and we had a lot of you know, there's a pacifist achievement. Like you could actually go through this entire game without having to get into a single fight. And,
dude, that sounds like an interesting achievement.
Yeah, and then we also have pacifist masochist. That's on the difficulty level without getting into a fight. So
my God, I remember that.
I would start by being a charismatic character. You know, dumping all my points into charisma is a good way to start with that, because then you can talk your way out of mostly everything. Like for instance, that's one of the characters from the original story. You know, you'll see some cameos if you know that story. What happened next? But yeah, there's the one story.
It just reminds me so much of Quest and Breath of Fire as a kid. Very cool.
I love Breath of Fire. Yeah, and so in the last game, the Great Gaius, we encompassed a very, very large map. Could you let me share my screen for?
Yes. It'll take him off, but yeah, I can have you.
Yeah, I just want to show you the scope and how much more refined.
Yeah, sure.
We just updated the world map. I'd love to show you guys that when we run our.
Just do the same thing he did, and I can share it.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn now.
Do I have to press anything?
You got to do the same thing he did. You share, and then I can share.
All right. Let's see. Present.
Really quick, did I see like a beehive barrier for like one of the block animations? Those are cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was for guard.
Those are cool. Yeah.
So,
yeah, that was very. I love beehive barriers. If you watch enough mecha anime, you see it all the time.
So me and Brian drew this map by colored pencils when we were like 18, 16 years old. And
wow,
we had it revamped from when we did the first title, and now from making the two titles of the game and playing various versions of the tabletop game on it, it's become so the Great Gaius encompasses this entire continent, in which you can go to each one of these areas, and in fact you have a big part in the spot. But in Gjallarhorn, we've only are focused here in this area.
Right.
And the four areas that you start out would be these different mountaintops here, this forested area, and then this lake area here. And all of the story coincides in just this one area. And if you played the Gaius, you would have been to these two towns originally during their part of the story. And, actually in Zealous as well. So we hyper-focused on this area because it's a part of the story here where they're leaderless. And there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of back dealings. There's ancient societies. I don't know. There's a lot of political intrigue that's happening, and everybody wants a little piece, and they're all vying for the chiefdom over this entire part of the empire. Well, meanwhile, I don't want to put any spoilers out there, but what is happening in this part of the world has something to do with the overarching. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show.
I still think it's amazing that you guys put all this together as your D&D campaign when you guys were kids, and here you are putting this video game together with that thought process. I've been enjoying watching people like we know the guys from Shadowmere. They took their stuff and put it into their comic, and it's their campaign put into comic book format. And when I first met you guys, that's what stood out to me the most, was the fact that you guys took this, and it's something we've always wanted to do, especially when we were younger. And to put it into other people's hands, go look at this campaign we had. It was fantastic.
Right. I often, like, when I was younger as a teenager, we'd all be like sitting around like drinking and playing Dungeons and Dragons. But like we captivated, with these stories, for, I don't know, we played 8 to 10 hour sessions of D&D for once a week, once every other week as we started to get older for years. and the world got, really developed really well. And it was a big thing. I still credit the original companions in the game, So that's something that I'll continue to do because I couldn't have weaved this world without those interactions and that's why I liked recently as the D&D world started to become much more popularized. I was like, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it got us excited, which is why I said that our next venture is going to be putting this stuff into a book that we can essentially share this world with others in this format.
It'll be fantastic. It's also a way to get to continue your story out there, to put your setting out there.
Yeah.
And of course, who doesn't want to play other people's settings or other people's worlds? It just brings more to the game. It's kind of like it's one of the reasons I'm so upset with what they're doing with D&D right now. But hey, it's their property.
Yeah.
It's their funeral.
I know one company that doesn't want you playing your own campaigns, but
right, exactly.
And I gotta admit, like, the best thing is the care that you guys put into this. You can see how much time and effort you guys have put into your game. You guys have broke down all the stuff. You really are like diving into the nitty gritty of this and trying to make this game as good as you guys can make it.
Yeah, that's thanks to Brian. Countless hours of trial and error and programming different modes. You make one thing, it breaks another. We had to revamp people were getting rich, just because there was certain little bugs, and you got to. It's building. It's not just building just a video game. You're actually building a world, a living, breathing economy. And especially with the day and night cycle, it's kind of AI, in a way where not necessarily that it's thinking for itself, but it does have a set path and program. And it's interesting. There's like 50 to 60 bounties that you can go across. And each one of those are like, they envelop the story a little bit in some of them, but they all are hiding out, and like you can gather clues. It feels Dungeons and Dragons-esque, and that's what I was really going for. And
you definitely get that feeling. You feel like it has this Dungeons and Dragons feel to it. When you were showing off all the gameplay there, it feels just like that. It feels like a version that you can play on your computer. And I think one of the things that you said is it's almost like you can play the game through your game. You can play your D&D game through this game. And one of the things that we've always been wanting to do is figure out how to play with each other over like long distances, and maybe like see what we're doing.
Yeah, that's probably the future. I've seen that there's a couple of ways that people, like a lot of my original companions were all in different states and stuff now.
Right.
So I was talking about, running this new campaign. I'd love to bring those guys back around. If we can set up like this and I can share my screen and everybody can move their own pieces, like that's an interesting thing to do, And then with the 3D printing world and just 3D modeling in general, you can have your own miniature, and it's like, well, it's not physical, but I can move it and I can touch it on this screen, be able to overlay maps. So I'll probably come up with something clever because I definitely
go. And I feel like there's a bunch of people that have tried to do something like that, and it kind of works, but it's still, I don't think we've gotten to that point yet where it's that interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what we're doing too, also with our new campaign setting, we're going to offer some cards. And it's an interesting thing because I saw a lot of this with Kickstarters. I saw it with the D&D miniatures line that they ran, where you could play this little tiny game that was like a D&D type light. So took this idea, and I used to play Magic the Gathering, another nice Wizards product that is good. So I figured if you can get enough information on a card, you can actually play D&D light, offer instead of me having to open up all these books, like if I knew a bunch of spells offhand and I just had cards on, I could know what is in my arsenal and things like that. So we're actually going to offer like a 36 card deck, and like if you played the Gaius, we're gonna have like a Potts Talus card, main characters, and things like that, but all like lower levels, so you can actually play and interact with some of these characters. You know, we have the book is set to be almost 300 pages long right now. We have about 91 of them written.
Whoa.
But it's going to be cool. So we're going to announce that Kickstarter soon, and we'll offer all these different physical reward tiers as well as discounted video game bundles, you know. And then even if people, I think it's a good, smart idea because, you know, I was a Dungeons and Dragons player before I was a video game creator. Getting back to these roots and showing, you know, you have like Dragonlance and Faerun and all these realms that built themselves up with all these different mediums. Like Dragonlance had 100 different books. Well, I don't have 100 books and 100 authors, but I do have a video game with 100 original narratives in it, and I do have another game that's built on these systems. So I was thinking the book can play off of them. You can offer QR codes. We got 25 new music soundtracks. Gjallarhorn. I don't know if you guys ever played Sega Genesis old D&D game called Warriors of the Eternal Sun.
Oh, I remember that.
It had this slamming drum and bass track.
Yeah.
And so me and the composer and Brian, we made something that feels like that. Nice, movable, dangerous sounding music. That's offered. We have it on YouTube. You guys can watch it for free.
Well, that's always great because, you know, as DMs, we're always looking for music.
Yeah. So
I
was going to make some pre-made adventures, and I'll just ping some stories. I got 60 tracks on the Great Gaius, and I got 25 tracks on Gjallarhorn. So you have about 75 minutes of music.
Ooh.
And on our Kickstarter, I'm going to offer $5.
Damn, $5.
$5, man.
That's a great deal.
Listen, I want to make a nice physical copy of a book in the process. We've expended our money. You know, we had a failed Kickstarter before. We didn't make it. We told you guys we were going to do it instead of doing it in 2 years, but we did it in 4. You know, so we have this drive to continue this kind of products because it's something that we just love doing, and it keeps me and my friends connected over long distance. Brian just moved to North Carolina. I'm up in New York. You know, we're you know, and this keeps our friendships alive. Like D&D, that's what D&D was all about, right?
Yeah, I completely feel you because my group is all over the place right now too. They're all over the country, and you know, we're connected now basically through like what is it, Facebook and Instagram. You know,
well, imagine your wife
great to have something that can connect you.
Imagine your wife coming downstairs into the basement at the ripe age of 35 to 40 years old, and you guys are all playing D&D down there, eating Cheetos and the beanbag chair. And you know, that's pretty funny to me. But it's seeming that it's picking up, and I hope that this thing with Wizards, you know, I hope they rethink this. You know, you guys are printing money. You know, let the little guys have fun and open source this the way that it was meant to be.
It's funny because the open source is what's given the excitement to the game. You got all this stuff that's come out of it. You know, there's so much material that, you know, that they wouldn't have been able to do by themselves.
I know. And if you look at all the different campaign settings, they all started from an open source thing. I mean, Wheel of Time started from D&D, most likely. Dragonlance, all these things. You know, sure, George R. Martin was making weird D&D sessions with his friend. He's like, you know what, I'm going to write this book. Yeah, we owe this to Gary Gygax. He wanted everybody to be a part of it. I had 3 books, and now look at all the different supplements and stuff and ways you can play. Pathfinder came out because they were like, screw 4.0, and they, you know, did their own thing. And, you know, maybe we might have to do something similar.
So that's one of the things they're saying is that, you know, the first time they did this, it just made people get creative. Pathfinder happened because they did what they did. So I can just imagine what's going to happen this time. I don't think they're thinking this through.
They're not. And you know, people like me and Brian, we were about to release a 5.0e. I'm going to take those symbols off of my book now. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you that it's a tabletop game, and you guys can play it however you want to play it. I'm going to try to make it as universal as possible,
right?
So that people that want to play Pathfinder or 3.5 or 5 or whatever, I want you to be able to use this book, take the systems, play the world, whatever campaign that you want. You know, that's the beauty of this too. This is a whole brand new world with 10,000 years of history and all these interesting things and paths to immortality and spheres of influence, religions. Like, this is going to be a big chunk, you know. Like when I was a kid, I was like, I don't know, like 8 years old. I picked up this old Mystara box set for like the Hollow World, and I was like, I don't even know how to read, dude, but look at these cool things, and I was like, nuts! I want somebody to open my box set, some 9-year-old kid, and be like, dude, these guys got psychopathic serial killers and nutty stuff and minotaurs. I want to play this thing, you know, it gets people excited.
You're already getting me excited by talking about all the stuff that you want to put into the box. I was like,
yeah. Well, you should see we're almost there. We're almost done with working out some fulfillment issues and some pipelines. We're partnering with some pretty cool people that like to help out indie gamers. We're trying to stay away completely. We're going to be completely self-published, and we're going to show people that, if you have an idea, you can, you got a little bit of time. Me and Brian meet every Monday for the most time until it's crunch time, and then our girlfriends are getting mad at us because we're talking
every
nerd
day.
stuff for 8 hours a day while having jobs and things. So it's been really fun to make these products, and it's kept me alive to something that was really fun during my youth. So I'd like to continue that legacy along to future generations.
It's amazing the passion that you guys have for this project, and you felt that the first time we guys saw you at Play NYC. You actually, you had this energy exuding off of that corner booth you had, and it just caught your attention. I'm like, okay, because before I even went over there and found out, the whole '90s RPG thing, I was like,
yeah,
hey, and that just sold it to me more.
Yeah,
well, it was like a layer on top of a layer. I was like, wait, '90s RPG? Wait, D&D? Oh my god!
Hopefully by Booths in 24, we'll have supplemental guides, map folios, maps, dice sets, miniatures, like the whole nine, and 2 90s style video games.
We're gonna need a bigger booth.
Yeah, we need a bigger booth. Gonna need a bigger booth. So I think that's going to be a cool experience to have. And I like the fact that, because when I'm going to conventions now, the D&D stuff is blowing up, but I'm just seeing dice sets. There's not a lot of content. It's not a lot of things like that. It's starting big, and I'd like to be a part of it, especially now.
This is boom happening, and you can see it. And like you're saying, it's funny because now it's everywhere. But usually it's just dice guys. But at the same time, you're beginning to see these people who have come up and they're creating their own things. They're making things happen with this thing that we love called D&D in different ways. Sometimes it's not called D&D, but it's still coming from the same place.
Yeah, exactly. It's a tabletop generation, and if you guys, they want to make it so we're not allowed to say D20 and this and that or whatever you guys are trying to do. And
Wizards of the Coast is mad because people are making better products than they are.
Yeah.
So they're trying to get money from those people who are making better products than them.
Exactly. And it's going to blow up in their faces because they have a lot of product lines. Like Disney makes one bad Marvel movie and it didn't make $1 billion. Oh, it made $300 million on a $60 million budget. You guys are still making money. It's that you're just not lining pockets.
Right.
That you'd like, but you guys got Magic. Everybody's playing.
Yeah, we just saw, what was it? A starter deck for Magic is $70, something like that.
Yeah, $70 for a pack of cards. I'm going to charge $20 for mine.
That thing bugs me out. It's the whole, hey, look at this starter pack. It's $70. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
how am I supposed to? Okay, as a kid, let's go back. There's no freaking way I was gonna get $70. Even though money was more back then.
That's what I say.
Took you a long way, but at the same time, you weren't gonna pay that much money. That's like, I remember like us paying $50 for a starter deck. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I feel like it was like $20. In the 90s, it was like $20.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to do it. And then you get a little booster pack because you found $5 in the couch.
Exactly.
That's like
starter pack and that booster pack. And that helped you start.
Need a second. You guys want to play Magic the Gathering and D&D? And time to get a second mortgage, guys.
Yeah, we got to mortgage the house. We need to buy a 3D printer.
Yeah, exactly. But
they've gotten insanely greedy, and it's because they think people aren't creative because they're not, and they just, fun little.
They don't want to hire people for the kind of money for real creativity. They want to. It's all about a bottom line for a lot of the corporate people, and it's across all industries. But this entertainment industry. Like, they ruined Game of Thrones' ending for me because Disney said, "Hey, listen, you guys want to work on Star Wars?" You're like, HBO offered these guys more money, any amount of episodes, any amount of seasons. You can just keep doing this. And they were like, you know what? We're going to finish this up real quick because we're going to go work on Star Wars. I don't think you guys are that good. And you lost that contract. And you lost Game of Thrones to the point where I didn't know if I really wanted to watch this new one, which I am liking. But,
I like the new one too.
Yeah, House of the Dragon's good.
Surprisingly,
But season 6 and 7 of Game of Thrones almost put me in the dirt for that. You know?
Wait, you didn't like season 8?
Yeah, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
I like how every single character you cared about story meant nothing. Not a single thing. And then you give the crippled kid, like, I get it.
But that finale was horrible.
Not even a in any way. Like,
oh my God.
It's like, you guys should have just pulled the sword out of the stone. Toss the coin. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do one of those like freaking Grease scenes where it's like, tell me more. I hope they never work in Hollywood again.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't even face the nerds at Comic-Con because they're cowards.
Oh my God. Dude, you know, that's the best explanation I heard because I could not understand. Like, you're making money off of Game of Thrones. And in my mind, you know, until you explained it that way, I was sitting there going, why would you speed up the ending of this show you're making money off of? You know, and I couldn't fathom why they would do it, especially because, you know, they wanted more seasons.
The same reason why they try to make you pay for rolling a dice in D&D.
Yeah.
Because they think there's a quick buck and they never cared to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, until you said that, I had no reason for this. Now I'm like, okay, that's a reason. Now I understand why they split up the end because they're making money. So I don't understand why you would want to end Game of Thrones when you're making so much money.
And now they're not even working on the Star Wars project anymore.
No.
Yeah, they didn't even get the contract.
Good.
J.J. Abrams and Ryan Adams ruined that.
And they're not in the new Game of Game of Thrones. They got rid of all those guys because, you know,
they were like, oh, they abandoned ship. We don't want those kind of guys.
Their reputation got ruined for nothing.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Man.
Dude, that's what they say. Be careful who you sell your soul to.
You know, and it's not them. It's that they screwed over all the actors in it. Like, who did anything after that?
Yeah.
Like,
and you want to know who else got screwed over? Those dragons that in one episode flew 3,000 miles. Put 3,000 miles on a dragon in one episode, man.
It's gonna run anybody up,
right?
But they got to show up in Westworld, so
yeah.
Oh yeah.
At least
that's that too. They killed that too. So.
Yeah,
that would have been a
rather
better
cancel
ending.
Westworld.
It just
the
ended.
first season
Like,
was like,
yeah, just the ending would have been, hey, this is all fake. It's all Westworld sketch.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
Yeah, the cowboy
man.
goes up. And he's like, yeah, wow, that was fun.
They Truman showed us.
you gotta love entertainment.
Yeah.
I look forward to the
man.
anime remake of it in a couple of years.
Oh,
That actually sounds like it would be interesting.
Yo,
that was
have you ever seen the Japanese drawings for the novels of Game of Thrones over there?
Mm-hmm.
They're cool, man. They're cool.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Not a graphic novel, but they just have the regular novels, but they have these covers by Japanese artists. Yeah, they're really cool, man.
The anime style?
Looks like Peter Dinklage's character. Like, he looks like a little bit, yeah. But they got Peter Dinklage's character. Like, he looks like the book. He's this bald too, just all creepy looking. It looks cool, man.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
See, that's what we need. We need a anime version of it, and then it'll be good.
Absolutely. And dark and gritty, the same as it started.
Dude, I can just imagine the blood in that one. If the TV show did what they did, I can imagine the anime.
Red wedding anime style.
It's really red.
Stabbing pregnant women.
Yo, anime loves
heads of wolves.
Yo, anime loves brother and sister relationships.
Yeah. They like
alluding to it. And they like doing it. So they like that brother and sister stuff.
Yeah.
So, right home.
Oh my god. I can't even lie.
So do we have faith in the D&D?
You know?
Yeah, let me ask you guys. What do you guys think about the D&D movie?
I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna reserve judgment.
I'm with Bri. Yeah, I'll watch it, but I haven't seen a very good adaptation of these types of things.
Yeah, it's the thing, It's
it's not enough source material. You need a really good writer to captivate someone in one of these stories. The
best idea I've heard is having the Muppets do the D&D movie, and their avatars are humans, but they still have the Muppet voices. And I was like, I would pay to see that.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Can you imagine?
Wow.
Talking like Miss Piggy.
What's that show that we used to watch, Bri? The web series, Duralius.
Duralius and Associates.
You guys ever seen that?
It's a really good one.
Campaign.
No.
But one of the guys, I love it. There's like a whole thing, but there's one guy, his name's Sir Walken, and he talks like Christopher Walken. He's like, you can't kill Tectanus. He's like a god. Now with Jack. Yeah, you can't.
Oh, that's fantastic! I gotta look this up now.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. And it's awesome.
It's funny.
I need more cowbell.
Yeah.
I need more cowbell.
I need more scrolls with restoration. What am I supposed to do?
But it's funny because that's straight out of a campaign. That's straight out of a campaign. That's what we would do. We would take voices that we knew and put them into the characters.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what was funny when I was making the first video game. We associated. There's a lot of things that are funny to me and Brian in the video game because they were mannerisms of the people that these are based off of. Like for instance, Kruger the dwarf. My friend Nate, he's always like stealing food and be like, "Oh, I don't get any money. Let me get some pizza." So it's the whole game. He's just you find him stealing food and like getting into apple crates and got grapes all over his face.
Oh my god, that's fantastic!
But I like that kind of stuff. You build those character development.
I think we all have that friends. I think we all have that one.
Yeah. Well, that's Bruger. Older Bruger. And now we say
I was actually thinking about mine.
You being a Bruger right now?
I got to for a hamburger today.
Yeah. You know what's cool though? If you guys want to, I told you guys.
Ralph, you're thinking of a meanwhile he's in your fridge right now.
you guys want to see our concept for the miniatures that we're making?
Sure. Just share and I'll put it up.
Yeah. We only have a few printed. We're getting just getting an idea. Hold on.
It's amazing. Like 3D printing has really changed the aspect of D&D because now you can actually have your character as a miniature.
Can you see what I shared? Hold on. There we go.
There it is. Hold on.
There's little Bruger from the Great Gaius as a 3D printed miniature with his fire axe and his frying pan on his back.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so we're working around.
Look at the little amiibo type stand.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, he's got a broken horn, and that's Pops with his little hat.
Nice.
Kalis and Virgil and Laney.
So you designed these yourself?
Yeah, we 3D modeled them and based them off of our characters and had them printed by one of our partners that we're conceptualizing because we're really going to make this crazy D&D box set with this original type of thing. I want it to feel like old school, I want it to feel like the first time
to open the box.
So we're working on. Here's a little picture of the cards that we were talking about.
Wow.
So I'll just give you guys a little preview, but we've been designing these based off of all of our original characters and
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so and here's my here's our concept art for the original book. Yeah. So that's what I have. That's basically the golf if you played the Great Gaius. So the immortal warlords, and it's just going to describe everything. And we're working with these guys right now to try to make a like a leather-bound book that actually looks like the Great Gaius. So we don't know when this stuff is going to actually be associated, but the original book here, we're actually going to make a Kickstarter specific tier reward.
Wow.
And
Oh
on
God,
the
that
best
beautiful.
cards, we'll actually create this campaign setting inside this book. And we're working with a pretty cool publisher that likes to work with indie developers. So
I like the fact that you guys are interweaving this with the games themselves. That just makes it even better.
yeah, I think that it's a big. I think that it's a good way to like make it interesting. And like I said, if you're going through this book and you're playing D&D and you see, it's Potts' story and you meet Potts, Potts has his own theme song. So you put a little QR code, ping it, and all of a sudden your cell phone with your Bluetooth radio starts playing the song. And, I'm going to craft it in these kind of a ways. I'll hide stuff in the video game. They won't know in post that when I made this book, I was like, you know what? That's a really cool little story. I'm going to hide something. And if you read it in the book and you're like, that's in the video game.
Yeah.
You might find a secret or something, I think that's kind of cool.
Dude, the love that you guys are put into this crafting of the video game, of the book, of everything. I think one of the things that makes all of this so great is that you actually are going down the personalized path. You're making these characters. You're not making generic characters that You're making these characters that have come to life in this campaign, and now they have all these quirks. But and that's what makes great stories. We know that as writers. When you bring all these little quirks and all these little bits and pieces into the story, that's when these characters become alive.
Absolutely. And yeah, so since, and if people don't have the digital aspect of like to play these games, I thought that it was pretty cool that we can bring it back to the roots of what, I started writing this campaign setting before I even thought of making a video game. I mean, it's almost 20 years now that I've been actually working on this particular story.
That makes it even more impressive because some most of the times you have to take into account what you're writing for in order so that you can smoothly move into it. So now you guys have to work it so they can make happen what you did over there and figure out how to do it. And I know that's probably come up to you for you guys a couple of times.
Yeah. What I think is cool is that in the campaign setting, like when you were building your character, see, I wrote about 90 pages of the book so far, and there's like a whole forward about how me and Brian started out when we were kids, and how I started to write a campaign setting because I basically wanted my friends to write their own mini story. So when Brugger and when Potts and Quathorn and all these people that are in the Gaius went to play the story, they had to write their little thing. I said, what do you think would be a legendary object for your character? And what is this?
Ooh.
Make a one paragraph thing. And now when you go in and you get the gloves of Vander Rowan or like the caduceus like earthen staff, like these are things that my friends came up with and wrote a little thing. Like I remember this was like the days of like MySpace. Like a little like because I remember that it was that, and
I remember posting it on MySpace.
Yeah, I know.
The character story.
Real nerd. Don't let me see this on your MySpace page. But yeah, I wrote about that. Yeah, exactly. But I wrote about that in the first thing when it says where to get started, and I said, maybe you should have your friends write a story based off of this book, and you write your own story. And that's how I got started. And that's why we, got really involved in doing this. And I think that made it important for the characters because as the game master, I'm the one who read these stories. I could litter things in there. I'm passing people notes. And that's the way that a campaign is really born between Matt. I've had people that join the campaign right away. Like new character in Gjallarhorn is my friend Chris, who over the course of like maybe 6 years played D&D with us 4 times. We used to say that he was a time traveling wizard. Guess what? In Gjallarhorn, He's a time traveling wizard.
That's a good way to explain that, because sometimes, with certain people that can't play too many times, you're like, how do I explain him coming back or disappearing?
Yeah. He's on a time traveling quest. And
that's a good explanation. I like that one. There was always somebody that could only play every once in a while, and you always felt bad because you had to figure out, okay, so he's going to disappear, because there was two ways to do it: either bring him along the whole time, and then you had to have somebody else play his character while they will bring him along, or figure out a way to get him to be going and coming and coming and going.
Right.
Or say, dude, we can't handle this.
It'd be cool if you did like a Scott Bakula thing. He just like pops into an NPC sometimes.
Oh, that'd be cool too. That's a good idea. He quantum leaped.
He's actually had things like that where we had other people, if you were
Jordan, I think.
around.
Yo.
What's up, Chunky Kong?
Yo.
Jordan.
That was always a good thing that happened, Matt. Like, I know there was times where we would play some other characters, because sometimes people couldn't show up, and it was always funny to see how they would play the other person's character, because either they were going to make fun of you, or they were going to play it the way they thought you should be playing the character.
Yeah. Well, our friend Brandon, who plays Wien, that was funny because we'd always mess around, because Brian would want to play roguelike style, and he was like more nefarious, chaotic neutral. He's stealing stuff, he's doing stuff, and Brandon's like, yeah, I want to be with my boy, but I'm like, you're a lawful good paladin. You can't do that, because he'd keep us up until 4 o'clock in the morning with all these rules and stuff. But we liked when Brandon was missing, because then we could play Brandon's character exactly the way we wanted to.
That's that classic fight, though.
I think I'm gonna go down. I think I'm gonna go head in for the night, guys, while you guys enjoy your alcohol and wenches.
That's that classic fight, though, because you always had that paladin. You always had that. Well, we can't do this, and you had the rest of the group had to figure out ways around.
Yeah, I'm thinking that in one of my next stories, we're gonna have a paladin that he's so in depth of doing lawful good that everyone around him that's just a normal person, you're like doing evil stuff. Like, for instance, it's like, well, it's an orc village, so I slaughtered all the women and children. Of course I did. Why wouldn't I do that? And it's like, dude, come on. It's like a baby. It's a kid. It's an orc. It's like, oh my God. Order and law to the point of madness. I think that would be an amazing character for a paladin to be.
It's amazing what we do. Like, we've seen it before, where that kind of character turns into the villain, because they have to control everything. Yeah,
he's like, I'm doing this for the greater good, and his god's like, well, I'm going to see how this one plays out.
Exactly. Let's see what happens. We can try it with the next one. If it doesn't work, I'm a god. I'll be here around for a while.
Right. Exactly.
I can see that. I can see a guy going, I think I'm going to let this happen and see what happens. It's a good test.
It's kind of the story of the Great Gaius. It's basically the TV guide for the gods.
What's happening on Earth today? I don't know. Hey, wait till you see what this guy's doing.
Yeah, they write your name in there so you can have good reruns. The same souls being reborn.
Oh, man. Well, we love having you guys on. You guys, dude, your passion for the project is just amazing. And that's why every once in a while I'm always checking up with you guys, going, "How you guys doing? You guys want to come back on the show?"
Yeah. Sorry about last month, man. We've been in a crazy, chaotic mode, and we had a lot more to showcase. Now we feel more confident. The game was actually released today.
Yeah.
Right?
No, yesterday.
Yesterday. Game was released yesterday.
Big crunch time.
Yeah, out of early access. So a lot of people playing, and haven't got a single bad review in early access, and that's pretty good.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, we just need a little bit more exposure, and whatever happens.
Well, hopefully, this will get you guys out there, and I've been pushing your game like all week, so.
I saw, and we appreciate that. We're passion over profit anyway, so if we get 5 people in our Discord talking about the game, we feel pretty cool to just talk to you, and that's it's been a wild ride, and we're excited to do the next part.
Oh yeah.
And we're right with you. We want to see it happen. Like when you guys get the book together and you guys go into Kickstarter, come back on. We'll have a discussion, dude. Heck, if you guys just want to come on and geek out, just let me know.
Yeah, we like doing that too. You know, Brian's a new father now, so like this is way past his bedtime.
Yeah.
He's all dark and pale. I keep him in the basement. He works on all the video games. He's daddy during the day, and I got him slaving away at night.
Oh yes, early child. Oh my God, those were stressful days. Working and having a child. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm surprised you're able to get any work done.
I got 2 actually now, so it's
Yeah, no,
Already time.
it's tough.
I had one, and I was like, we ain't doing this again. That's why when Lou's like, I got 4, I'm like,
Right.
I don't know how you do it, Lou.
Oh me, I thought you meant the other Lou. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got 4 too. I don't know what it is with you and Lou. I mean, Lou's in 4.
God bless you.
I can make a comment, but I don't think
Yeah, God bless, bro, because I have 1, and that's an amazing amount of work. I love it. I can see why you want more, but at the same time, I'm like, no. Woo. All right, so I see we're near the end of near the 15 here. So let the people know where they can find you, where they can, all the good stuff. Go for it.
All right. Well, our website is www.horizonsend.com. We have a Facebook. I think our Instagram is Horizons End Gaming. Right, Brian?
Yeah, same with the Facebook.
Yeah, and that's our Facebook, Instagram, Pony Express. I think we're covering the bases. And we have a Discord channel as well. Don't know exactly how to do that, but I know that it's linked in all those other things.
Yeah, the Discord is linked every.
It is.
Everywhere.
I've been on your site, I've been on the other things, and I saw they go, hey, look, press this button to go to the Discord.
Yeah, it's pinned on all of our stuff. So.
Yeah, so you can.
And I know I saw it on the Facebook too. So.
Yeah. So.
And you can also follow us on Steam. Obviously, that's where our games are. So pick them up on Steam, wishlist them, share them with your friends.
Yep, and look out for the new book that's going to come out, and we'll take on the OGL bandits.
And if anybody's going to be at PAX East at the end of
March,
March, we're going to be there.
Yeah, we'll be at PAX East this year.
Well, if we make it, we'll see you there. If we don't make it, we'll see you at another point.
Absolutely, man.
So is that the only convention you guys are going to try to hit? Because I know life is busy. And going to conventions, as we all know over here, is a job in itself.
I mean, for major conventions, definitely PAX East as of for right now. Later on, depends how things go. I mean, I always like to go on the Too Many Games convention.
Yeah, Too Many Games is fun.
But there's a lot of conventions out there. We just gotta.
Yeah.
Especially now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
now
so
that
many.
the COVID scare is over too, I think maybe we'll be a little bit more people out, because like we said, we went to PAX West. I think they were only at about 25% capacity or expected capacity. So we had a lot of fun. We didn't make any money. We met a lot of cool people, but and we had a great vacation.
Yeah.
But from the PAX East that was packed out, we probably made 5 times more money going to a full PAX East.
Yeah, more and more people coming out lately. So more and more people.
That's the hope. Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, when you guys go to PAX East, it's going to be a whole different thing again. It'll probably be like in similar to the first time you guys went.
I hope so. I hope so.
I will have a new product to showcase, and hopefully by that time the Kickstarter is live, so we can get.
Dude, if you guys can shoot for that might help you guys out.
Yeah,
but like I said, just come back over here and we'll help you there too.
We really appreciate it, and it's always fun to come in and talk to you guys, and hopefully we do it again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we see you at another con, man. That would be great.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he's great. I met him in person. I haven't met Brian yet, but I've seen him a couple times already. Oh man! All right, so guys, do we have anything to throw in there? Anything to say? Any fun stuff? I know I got like a thing up here, but I'll wait for it to see what you guys say.
I say you guys all download Gjallarhorn, play it all night long, quit your jobs in the morning because you stayed up all night, at least getting in some kind of trouble.
That gives me flashbacks when I would play all night and then work during the day and get no sleep.
Exactly.
All right. You guys gonna make me pick one? All right, Tony, we'll start with you since you're in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, all right. What have we been doing lately? So on the Facebook page, been Apple. Last things I reviewed, I reviewed Mobile Suit Gundam: The Witch from Mercury. I reviewed that, and this was like 2 seasons ago, but I finally got around to finishing The Boy Kong Ming on High Dive, so I reviewed that. And next week I gotta read this because I don't remember the full title. Next week I'm seeing That Time I Got Incarnated as the Slime Scarlet Bond movie, so I'm seeing that next week. So there'll be a review for that whenever I see it. So just keep an eye out for it. So that's all I got.
Yep. Check out the page. Tony does his write-ups. They pop up. It's fun times. It's always a hilarious review or a hilarious talk. All right, Mr. Nat, I see you've given me the floof.
Yes.
Go for it.
Follow the Floof Schmallow, aka the local resident artist of Ben Apple TV. Follow her on Instagram and Twitter. She makes good art, really nice art. Ooh, the quality. Ooh, nice.
Amazing.
Give her follow, give her love.
Yeah, Floof Mallow is amazing. Her art is beautiful. I still love the pins she did with Bitsy. They came out fantastic. Oh, do yourself a favor. Go check out Floof. Oh, there it goes. The pins. Look how colorful and beautiful they are. That's Floof Mallow, who's right now in Europe having fun. And probably asleep because she's not even commenting anymore. You did say it was 4:30 in the morning for her.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, since we're talking about Bitsy, we'll share Bitsy's little Kickstarter that she's doing over here. Hold on.
Yes, two
Yep, 2 of them.
One on Isekai Productions.
Yep, Isekai and this one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Isekai. If you guys got the link for that one, you can give it to me. Of course, you got this beautiful trash here that is cute and is pretty, and you guys should go get yourself some good trash.
That is cute.
I am definitely the dumpster fire. Let's go.
Dude, look how cute that thing looks. She's at 366, trying to get to 800. 14 backers, 13 days to go. We can do this, folks. We can get it to 800, and we can get ourselves some trash, or just be trashy, because it's okay to be trash.
I put it in the chat.
All right, here we go. It's coming up. There he goes. The Year of the Bunny. That's right. It is the Year of the Bunny. Let's put it up on the screen. It's the Year of the Bunny, and our friend Bitsy is celebrating the Year of the Bunny with her own little Kickstarter. Oh, look how beautiful this thing is. The Sexy Bunny Girls Calendar, Year of the Rabbit. And look at that art. It just looks beautiful.
Aren't you guys rabbits?
I guess so. It looks like a Playboy bunny.
Only 100. Only 100 available.
Only 100 available? So
yeah, if you scroll up, you'll see in the title it says
all the way up.
All the way up.
Down, up.
Yeah, that make 100 thing up there.
Whoa.
Y'all better get on it quick.
Dude, that sounds okay. That makes it more
exciting.
Guess
it's I don't know if it's like a thing amongst creators or what, but
well, it sounds interesting. As a collector, that just makes me want to buy it more.
Well, plus you get it next month.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good return.
Are any of you guys born Year of the Rabbit?
No.
I would have to look at the. I would have to look at the big circle.
I know I'm not a rabbit, so.
Oh, I am 75. Oh, my year.
Ah, you're a rabbit. Well, wait. If you're a rabbit, what are you asking us if any of us are rabbits?
Of course.
Did my avatar not give it away?
Shadow Rabbit, all right.
Shadow Rabbit is a rabbit? Oh my god. That does not shock me, no.
As long as you don't get the
All right.
rat or the pig. I think those are the worst ones, the rat or the pig.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm sorry to disappoint you then, Tony.
You got him. I thought you got the gorilla. I don't know if it exists.
Nah.
You're the gorilla? Which one's that?
Don't forget the monkey, right?
No,
it would make sense if Chunky Kong is a gorilla.
Nah, I do have Year of the Rat though. Yeah.
It means
Year of the Rat.
No, I don't know.
I just looked it up. So.
Oh yeah.
It's the best one. It's smart.
Oh hey man. They'll all live us, man. When all the humans are gone, there'll still be rats around.
Yeah,
that's true. That is very true.
Can't get rid of them. I don't know if they try, but no matter what they try, they hire like a what is it called? Like a rat czar to like get rid of all these rats.
Yeah,
like,
guy they sit in the park.
Oh my god.
The rats are like, good luck with that, buddy. We're gonna be here for.
They shoot back though, man.
Yo, my god, man.
Dude, man. Some of these rats look like cats.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Rats, man. These kind of rats like this, man.
Trying to think what else there was.
I think you had a couple ones too, right?
Yeah, there was ones from Monday, and I'm trying to remember what they were. Besides the two we just did.
Yeah, I know we did two of the bitsies. Well, you guys did because I was stuck out there.
It was. I know there was Pocus Hocus.
They're not out yet. They're coming, right?
Yeah, in like 2 weeks.
Right. I already talked about the dynamics. They're out today. They just started. Let me see where they are now. Hopefully they move. Oh, okay, cool. They've gone up to $472. 14 backers, 29 days to go. They still need to get to 1,500 guys. Come on, we can do this.
If you can't, not a Kickstarter, but if you don't want to go to PAX East, come see me in Ohio that weekend because it's on the same weekend as PAX East.
That's interesting. Okay. Oh, that's right. That's the thing you're doing with the panel?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about it.
If you can.
I mean, I can tell. I don't know a whole lot about the panel, but.
Well, you can also tell us about the event. You don't have to tell us about the panel.
So.
Or you may or may not be doing.
Well, I am, but. Well, he is. But. No, it's 2 days, Bowling Green, Ohio. Anime, video games, all that good stuff. Basically just pop culture more than anything, I guess. Pretty good sized dealer room. Dirk Manning will be there as always.
All right.
There will be a monkey shrine.
There will be a monkey shrine.
That's great.
Corn.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of corn. Given that there's like five. Given that there's like five
corn.
There's like 5 cornfields, like less than 5 minutes surrounding my house.
Wow. So you guys are the children of the corn.
Yes.
Whatever those things are.
Just like people who eat.
And of course, Jordan's going to be taking pictures and putting stuff up on Facebook. Yep. You can actually put it up yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I get notifications from Facebook all the time now saying that people are waiting for replies for messages.
Yeah, I know. That's a little taste of what's going on.
Yep.
You just gotta set that to mute.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't need to have it on. I'm the only one that should be paying attention to any other.
Every few hours I see Facebook and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, Facebook always attacking me.
All right.
Not as bad as Instagram. Instagram attacks me more.
We've reached the 20 mark.
Yeah. Oh, we are. We have reached the 20 mark. Look at that.
A lot of
I know
this
the
could have been.
guys. Well, we're all talking D&D and stuff, and that always takes up a lot of time.
Nobody talks about
so-
D&D anymore. Everyone doesn't like it now.
That's because
Oh, everybody
you get
loves it.
sued,
It's just that
and
they
then
don't
you
love
get
the
a
deal.
royalty from regardless of how much you made.
Everybody doesn't love the deal, and they're gonna mess with themselves up just like they did with 4. And it's kind of sad. Shadow Rabbit, what do you got to say?
Check out Gjallarhorn and all the other Kickstarters. Floof.
Ohio.
All these homies here.
Ohio.
Yeah, man, I'd love to get out to the Midwest.
As you should.
We're trying to figure out if we can get out there to do something. It'll be a good road trip.
Just Some Guy on Amazon.
What is it?
Just Some Guy.
So you're telling me it's just some guy?
Daniel Newman.
Is that
I
the
don't
name
know
of the
who
guy?
that is. He sounds like just some guy.
Also known as Travel and Root Beer.
I like myself some travel and root beer.
That sounds like some guy, man.
Time to drink
His
A&W.
YouTube was started as a traveling program where he drank craft sodas. So,
Oh, look, we got some root beer. Dude, so what you're telling me is that some guy traveled around and did some root beer.
something like that. Something like that.
So
Did some root beer.
Does this mythic traveling happen in the book?
You're gonna have to pick it up for an extremely fair price on Amazon to find it, or a surprise audio book, which is coming out pretty soon.
Ooh, so just some guy in audio.
Yeah.
I like that. Just some guy. And of course, the rest of the stuff there is Shadow Rabbit himself doing his amazing Shadow Rabbit self stuff. And if you guys want to commission Shadow Rabbit to make your dreams reality, go right ahead. He knows how to make some stuff.
I'll do some stuff with my hands that makes some money. Comic books aren't free, okay? You gotta.
Yeah, we gotta make the comic book money somehow.
Put some skin in the game.
And of course, Pete, we did see you morning. We just stuck in the middle of a conversation. Pete's probably not even here. Oh, wait, there's our viewers. Okay, never mind. Hey, Pete.
And Pete's show is what's the date?
The Indie Art Show is Saturday, February 4th. And of course, our pal from Game of Tunes will be there, checking the area out and doing his Game of Tunes stuff. And soon, I and Russell and I will be working on something. And I'm working on trying to enter the contest for the 10-page comic with Phil Russert. So let's see what happens.
Rooting for you.
And I think we will have Russell on February 1st for January 30th, that Monday right before February 4th. Yeah. And we have a busy month ahead of us, guys. There's a lot of people coming in. I'm actually comfortable saying who's coming because they've actually nailed down the date. And
oh, we have an actual schedule?
Yeah. People have actually said, I'm actually going to be there, Ralph.
And I know one of them.
Yes, you do. You do know one of them. Next week, we will have Phil and Rob on to talk about the dynamics.
I know them too.
Today on Kickstarter. And Douglas, who we're talking about,
Jason
there will
Douglas.
be on Monday, January 23rd, to talk about Parallel. And then Wednesday, the 25th, we'll be having A Dream Within a Scream. I
don't think that's PG, Ralph.
No, the one on the 30th isn't PG. I can't even say the name because it's our pal Glitch.
Yeah, the one that we talked about Monday.
Yeah.
Can you say the name?
Huh?
Now can Glitch, whatever her next part of her name is, say her own name, or
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Biscuit.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.
YouTube terms of service are wonderful.
But that's just a female dog.
Biscuit.
That's the definition, folks. It's a female dog.
it's also the people who set the rules at YouTube.
So wait a minute. If I own dogs and I have a dog show,
You
I
can't say it.
that? Huh?
You can't say it.
Really?
You can see it on TV.
Not anymore. Not according to YouTube.
Well,
Oh,
that's YouTube. You can still see it on TV. I hear it on TV all the time.
Hi, Susan.
When
Don't-
those
go.
TV shows come onto YouTube, they don't say it anymore.
Hi,
It's not
Susan.
there.
It's some antiquated smartphone or something. What is it?
Well, Rob, if you hear it on TV after 10 o'clock, the rules are a lot looser, so the language gets a little bit more.
I hear it on TV.
Probably don't hear it like you probably don't hear it on like Friends, you know. But on ER, you might catch it. You know? Yep.
Hi, Susan. Don't demonetize us.
I just assume we have them.
We love YouTube, hey.
Dude, YouTube's been after us for a
YouTube
while.
is great.
I don't worry about them.
Censorship is great.
YouTube has
Some
come
thoughts
after us a
this would
couple
be
times,
dangerous.
so I don't worry about those people anymore. I stopped worrying about them ages ago.
There you go.
All right.
All right, folks. This has been the Written Writ, and we're having a little too much fun because it's almost 1:30. 1:30. Whew. It's only been it's almost sorry. We've been almost on for an hour and 30 minutes. All right, folks. There you have it. This is us. This is the Written Writ. Tune in next time where we can hang with us and geek out. Till then, I'll do what I always do. I'll just press the button